So let's talk a little bit about if I didn't do a good job in convincing you this is a terrific time to do a startup, then I failed you so far. So, but if you subscribe to what I just talked about and believe that crisis, based on data, okay, and it's even astonishing if you look at the year 2000 dot-com bubble bursting crisis and what company got started after that was even more astonishing. So just to let you know, there was a company called Webvan that was started in 1998. Get to the peak value was huge. I think they were worth 60 or 70 billion dollars in 2000 and totally went bust. Webvan was a combination of Uber Eats, Instacart, Grubhub combined. But the timing was terrible. The timing wasn't there yet. But this time around, all of them became really big and something that we solely depended on for survival. So timing is crucial. So in this journey, right, I think the startup scene is really super vibrant, even in the crisis. Obviously, I'm starting to see in the very beginning of the prices, what I talk about, the pre-money and the post-money. The pre-money and the post-money are definitely getting cheaper. It's just because people are more worried about the difficulty of getting capital and where they have so many small companies that they will continue to need capital. So I think there's a general sensitivity to people who say, well, so many people are out there raising money for the very early stage, right? The seed stage company, they're asking for less. So I'm seeing a tiny bit of that adjustment. I'm hoping to see more. So that will help me to go much deeper in some of those companies. So then I'd be more impactful if I can own. So I really don't invest in the company unless I can own 20%. At 20%, I can spend time to help the entrepreneur to be successful, right? And I can deploy the resources that I have, not just myself, but my network of people to go help the entrepreneur to go make the company successful. By the way, these are all crucial formulas of, I'm an engineer, so I'm going to engineer a successful deal out of it, right? Some is out of my control because timing and market and everything will control it. But for what I can control, I'm going to try to dial in that formula. So the journey, obviously, that really doesn't change even post-crisis. Is you have an incubation state. Incubation state, people do it 3 different ways. You either go to an incubator, like a Y Combinator, 500 startups. There are a bunch of these guys around. So they give you basically advice space and some seed money, very little bit of money. And they will help you try to get to the venture capitalists that want to put in the seed round. And then you get seed. Seed will be generally that your presentation is together, you have some software, you get some beta users, we might not have any revenue. And then a seed, you enter in the seed, that's the expectation that somebody generally write a check that's about $1 million in size. And that $1 million is going to be sufficient for you to get to some level of revenue. So you have customers and you have money coming in. And then at that point in time, then you get that big round, which is the A round. A round shows you this is a real company. And before crisis, people were raising at least 10, 12 million, right? And they were at $50 million post-money valuation. So now maybe less, but maybe 5 million, maybe smaller in valuation. That's an A, but that's become a real company. And then at B, C, D, E, those are all scale. So how much money can I put into to scale the channel to grow the business itself? And eventually, whether an IPO or an acquisition, they get exited out of the business. But that's the journey, right? So this is critical because I've explained the journey because also the 10 years game. So if you look out 10 years, company needs 5 years in the middle mark to get mature. So if you invest in the first 12 to 24 months, so that eventually it will be able to exit, hopefully between the 5 to the 10 years time frame. So what really, really matters? So I was saying, cash is king. So every startup, you go raise that money, don't flaunt it and do stupid stuff with it. Don't go get a fancy office, okay, and an expensive computer. None of those things matter, right? It's how much your customer love your product matters. Cash used to be king, now it's King Kong. So, because that's the lifeline of any startup. No cash, there's no going forward because we have to be able to support a living to focus in building great stuff. So that's why I always are watching my own entrepreneurs that I funded. Are they living a good life? right? Are they focused to be able to continue on the innovation? Will they be able to battle out when the time is rough, the water's rough out there? Can they get through that? And then how fast can you get momentum? So this time frame continue to get compressed. It's just because it's easy to build. Now in software, we have open source libraries, so we don't have to build everything out ourselves. We don't need a data center because we can just put it on the cloud. There's AWS, there's a bunch of other services. They're cheap, we rent it, right? So when you go to market, there are ways to go do seeding to get your initial set of customers. So, but to ramp momentum, especially user adoption, is going to be the most critical thing. So anything that you want to get started, you must test the idea as soon as possible. Engineers have a tough time. They say, well, it's not perfect yet. I need to do more. I need to do one more revision. I need to write a little bit more code. Stop. That's not the world we're in anymore. Be able to iterate and test and improve. Test and improve is going to be very crucial.